Andrew?
I feel like the announcement today that Diomande is signed for the club. How pleased are you to get that one over the line?
No, everybody's really pleased about that because he's one of the, or he was one of the biggest prospects in Scandinavia. So there were a lot of teams interested in him. It's still a young player, but he has already a lot of experience also. He played more than 100 games for Nordsjælland, what's a good team, and they bring already several really good players into the rest of Europe and into the top competitions. So it's a team that everybody follows. So it's not easy to get a player towards Rangers from that team because there's a lot of competition. But Dio was really interested in the project. We had a lot of talks about that, and it's a signing for short, but also for long term. So that's not easy to do in January, and so I'm delighted that the club could do that.
What qualities do you feel he has, and how do you see him fitting into your Rangers side?
Yeah, he's somebody who's really versatile. It's a good technical player, but with a lot of running capacity. He's still developing also in strength, so I think we can make him stronger here. But he's really fast, he's agile, he's creative also, and he can play disciplined because he can do the 6-8 role, he can do the 10 role. He plays even at left fullback or at left winger in moments. So it's somebody who wants to do everything for the club. He's now, I think just 22. He's already vice captain in Nordsjælland, so that means also something. And we heard a lot of good things about him.
It looks as if it is a significant outlay this summer, of course, a long-term contract for himself. Does that just show the confidence that you have in him and his ability and his potential going forward as well?
Yeah, of course. Otherwise, we would not do that. And the club has made also a good effort to make this transfer possible, because everybody, and it's a process. It's not only from me or for Niels or the scouts, but it's from everybody in the club. Is convinced that he can have a good impact in the club in short term and in long term. That it's one of the players who can be able to grow bigger than Rangers, and that one moment he can make a next step, and the club gains things around that.
There have obviously been changes to the recruitment staff here. Is this type of transfer, is that the type of thing you're hoping to do going forward in terms of signing players at a good age that can develop and will hopefully become high valued players?
I don't want to talk too much about the past, and it's the same with working now with the boys as a coach, as a manager, in the way of working. But it's clear every club in the world, or almost every club in the world, is busy also with getting players in that they believe in, have the potential to grow in your club, become better, and one moment to sell them. We don't have an investor who just puts every year crazy money into the club every time. We are not a club like that, so you need to build also a model to gain value out of the players that you bring in, or the players that come out of your academy, and to do the intelligent moves at the right time. And that needs to be the model for the next couple of years, and not getting players get out of contract, for example. We talked about that in the past. So it's important that the club earns money with transfers, and like this can grow in the future. So everybody's working for that.
When do you hope to have Mohamed here and with the squad in play?
Yeah, it's not so easy to come into Scotland or into England these days. A few years ago it was easier, so it will be the next couple of days. It's depending of the visa, but everything is arranged. Waiting for that. We sent already somebody there to train with him, so that we don't lose time. He had a winter break that's longer than ours, so it's been longer that he played competitive football. So there will be a little bit delay in his physical status from the moment compared with the players here, because they had a preparation and friendly games and everything. So yeah, we will see when he's here what his level is for the moment, and to bring him to his best level as fast as possible.
You mentioned how good a prospect he is. You mentioned the competition that there was to sign him. What statement does that make that the Rangers have managed to lure a good player here and be able to showcase them here?
Yeah, we're not busy by making statements. We're just busy by making good business for the club, for the short term, but also for the long term. I'm not somebody who's only thinking about short term. I never did in all my clubs. Until now, in all the clubs I've been, they won more money than they spent. It's maybe not a good thing. Maybe we need to change that for the future. But it's an important thing in the model these days to stay a healthy club, and we need to build a healthy club again. So I'm one of the pieces in how the club needs to develop, and I try to help in the best way, but of course by also thinking about short term also. We need to win games, otherwise I'm the first who will be in the wind.
Can I ask if, with the competition that you had for the player, if you can give us any insight in how you sold the club and how you got him to commit to Rangers?
I sold the club how the club is, with all the values, and those are a lot. So we talked about that. We talked about the way of working. We talked about the past, developing of young players and making a next step. And that's a good list already of players who made a good step out of that. And you felt the connection. You feel also, we are looking also for players who are really ambitious, who want to work every day really hard to develop, to become better. And then I think this is a really good place to be. So it was around that.
Does your involvement in Europe this season and the sort of success the club has had recently help in that sort of sales?
It's one of the parts probably, but it's a lot of things. It's the fans, it's the stadium, it's the ambition of the club, it's the way of working, it's the teammates. If we were playing bad and the team is playing bad, it's also more difficult to get players in, because then they say, I don't get a good pass of this or that, or we cannot achieve anything. So it's a lot of things together in those talks.
Do you see him as a starter, first 11?
For me, there are no starters. It doesn't work that way. Nobody has guarantees to start. Not even now, after 3-4 months really well together. There's not one player who can say, I'm a starter for the next 3 months. For sure, it's about performances, and it's about that. We are here to win things together, so it's about performing every time. Of course, players who did it 3-4 months in a row, they get some credit. That's also logical, but it's about every day looking what is the performance of every player, and then to pick a team to win that game. Also pick a bench to win that game, because that's been also really important in our football. If you see how decisive our substitutes has been last couple of months, and to look also to the next games to come in making choices. So there are no guarantees for anybody.
We had the news yesterday that Stephen Davis is decided to retire. What can you say about his legacy and how much you enjoyed?
Yeah, honestly, I don't know Devo that long. But it was intense already, because you step into a new club. I asked also the club to continue working with the staff that was there, to see also, to get to know everybody. It was for me also important to get to know the club really fast. Was no time to waste. We didn't have a preparation of 6 weeks. So we need to make the right decisions directly. Devo helped in that way a lot, together with Alex and Brian and Colin. we worked really well together. Then one moment he decided he wanted to stay player. He wanted to do his rehab and to come back in a good way. So he did that for a few months. And now he made the decision to stop. So like I said yesterday, my staff is always open if he one day wants to come back. Because I liked the way we work together. And he's a legend of the club. He's somebody who is a leader by example towards your dressing room. So those are always very interesting persons to have in the building. Is it with the staff of the first team? Is it in academy? We will see in the future. But I think for this moment, Devo wants to have a little bit peace and quiet and take a little bit time with the family to decide things. And I told him yesterday also he's in a really luxurious situation that he really can decide what he wants in his life. Whatever choice he makes, he can try things, and maybe he tries something and he doesn't like, and he tries second thing and he doesn't like, and he can go for third choice in that way. So that's an interesting period. I've been in that period also when I was around his age, and I stepped in something that I like directly. So I was lucky in that way. And I've seen also others who tried different things, and there's nothing wrong with that. I think it's a good place to be. He needs to take it also in that way, in a really positive way.
In terms of your squad for tomorrow, how are Scott Campbell and Grasson?
They are both ready for selection.
So no reaction from Agri?
No. That was...
Okay.
Yes, the same players stay out with Kieran, with Ben, with Kemar and with Danny. Only one thing to add to make a clear update because otherwise I look silly also. I said that Alex Lowry came back and that our idea was to put him on loan because it's important for him to take playing minutes like he took in Hearts in a good way in several moments and to continue that story. But he came back with an injury, what we didn't know. So he will be out for the next 6 to 8 weeks. So it's going to be really difficult to put him on loan. What is a surprising story for myself to get this information now and not before. Because then I didn't give you guys the right information 1 week ago.
Did Hearts not say that he had an injury when he returned?
Yes, but not that was this severe.
What injury is it?
Yeah, I don't... You know, with the rules of privacy, we need to watch out also to say a lot. So I didn't speak with Alex about that. If I'm going to say that, it's not something that will damage his career. But he will be out for 6 to 8 weeks.
Do you anticipate that the players in the squad right now, all of those players will still be at the club at the end of the transfer window, or do you think there might be...
I wish I had this crystal ball. That would be nice. Like every manager want to have this crystal ball. I don't know if there's somebody coming with 20 million pounds for a player, then maybe it goes here. So I don't know. I cannot say that. I'm just focused on today, on the next game, and to win the next game with all the players who are here in the building, and we're working hard on that. So we will see the next week.
Are you still hopeful of bringing in any more signings in this window after your addition today?
It's possible, yes. Everybody's working still hard on that.
Can I just ask on Alex Lowry, in terms of the deal with Hearts, were Hearts always allowed to send him back to Rangers?
I don't know those details because I was not in the building when this decision was made. So honestly, I cannot respond in a good way to that. It's going to be different in the future, but I was not in the deal.
A frustration for the player, obviously.
No, and for us also towards him, because it's an important year for him, and he made some good steps. It's a talented player. It was an interesting thing to go to play there, to get the minutes. to make development. So we're all disappointed for Alex and also for ourselves, for the club, because it was the ideal scenario to let him play 1 year and then to make a good assessment how it was, to have him in a preparation, to see how that works. And now that's going to be difficult. And also with the squad we have for the moment, it's going to be difficult to give him minutes here. So yeah, it's not the ideal situation, but it's now for him to work hard in his rehab and then to come back and then to push and try to show his level in the trainings, although there will be a lot of competition there.
Thanks, guys.
Please.
Thank you.